You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth, the show that reveals facts, truth, research, and statistics and never messes around. We lay down the entire truth about everything regarding your Detroit and Michigan sports teams, no matter if it's good or bad. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no coddling, no pop culture, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website at MichiganSportsTruth.com, follow us on Twitter at Michigan_Truth, and like our Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth. The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
And this is the episode, and this is the post-game edition for Friday, June 1st, 2018. I'm Taylor Phillips, along with Louis Tenore. Michigan Sports Truth podcast can be heard on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts via iTunes. Tigers beat yet another easy team, the Toronto Blue Jays, 5-2. Blaine Hardy versus James Garcia. I told you all it was going to be a mismatch. Blaine Hardy proved so, except he walked 4 batters. He went 6 innings pitched, only gave up 3 hits, both of those 2 runs, striking out 3. James Garcia, yikes. As I expected, only an inning and 2/3, 4 earned runs, 7 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. James Garcia's ERA is now 6.08. Blaine Hardy's ERA is 2.77. He's 2-0 now. Blaine Hardy's been red hot. But this is another win. Just another win in Chris Ellis's piggy bank. Just more pennies on the freaking dollar. Tigers have won 3 straight. Second place now. Still 3.5 games back of the Cleveland Indians, who are 30-26. Tigers 27-30, second place in the American League Comedy Central. 2 games up on the Minnesota Twins, second place. Twins are 23-30. The Jays still 4th place in the AL East, 25-32. 13.5 games back of the Yankees. Or the Boston Red Sox. This doesn't look right. The Yankees are on top of the Red Sox. Look like they're on top of the Red Sox in a disorderly fashion. But the Red Sox 39-19. The Yankees 36-17. Yeah, it's actually the Yankees that are a half game ahead of the Red Sox, not the Red Sox ahead of the Yankees. So the Red Sox are a half game back of the Yankees. But anyway, Tigers still 7.5 games back of the wild card. Yeah, I mean, really, that some may think it's fun to watch. Some may think the Tigers are fun to watch this year. But you know what? Doug Doughty is one of them. I mean, really, Jeff Moss was having a Twitter feud with Doug Doughty. Doug Doughty was being one of the dumbest fans, one of the dumbest people I've seen on Twitter ever. Doug Doughty kept telling Jeff Moss twice that it's a fun team to watch. Actually, they're just rebuilding, Doug. Jeff Moss is teaching you some math, and you refuse to learn it because Doug Doughty is a slapdick. Yeah, and Jeff Moss understandably calls him a mental midget, and Doug Doughty's a mental midget, just like most of those fans who just don't even care how bad the AL Comedy Central division is. They just care about how close the Tigers are to topping the Cleveland Indians, which they won't do. They still have to play much harder teams, again, like the Yankees, Red Sox, Astros, Cubs, Cardinals, Brewers, Athletics. Even the Colorado Rockies. Actually, the Tigers are not playing the Rockies, but the Tigers are playing easy teams for most of the season, just to put pennies on the dollar in Chris Ilitch's money piggy bank. And Chris Ilitch is still going to sell the Tigers and Red Wings regardless, due to tax issues. And that's it. If you're going to get so excited about a team that you think is fun to watch, which is actually only a rebuilding team, well, you got problems. You need to go see a damn doctor. Megami, he's got that population of Tiger fans who are too hopeful for their garbage team with their garbage manager and Ron Garbage Fire, giving me a freaking headache. They're giving themselves a headache. Those are losers. It's no wonder I never wanted to go to a game in today's generation. Ugh. Bunch of pansies. So
That one is long gone.
Tigers and Blue Jays tomorrow at 4:10, or later today at 4:10. Matt Boyd versus J.A. Happ. Matt Boyd 3-4 with a 300 ERA. J.A. Happ 7-3 with a 3.84 ERA. Matt Boyd's WHIP, as we take a look at it here, 107. And then J.A. Happ's WHIP is 111. That's pretty damn good. This may be, on paper, regardless of wins and losses, their ERAs and their WHIP show on paper that it's a pretty evenly matchup. Pretty even starting pitching matchup. I hope to God that J.A. Happ pitches a shutout, making Chris Ilitch want to sell the Tigers and the Red Wings like he's going to do. So, yeah, the Tigers use that rally goose. When they're playing an easy team, they only score 5 runs. Does that rally goose help? No. They just want to. They use a goose decoy, as I saw on FSD at work at Ruby Tuesday, in their damn dugout, their dumb dugout. But they score 4 runs in the second inning, and that's it. Since then, only 1 run in the 7th, and that's it. I get it. They wanted to give it a test drive. It's not going to help. You just beat another easy team. You're probably going to get shelled by the harder teams, by the much harder teams in the Yanks, Sox, Astros, Brewers and Cardinals. And the Braves. Now, they may not play them either, but one thing's for sure, your Tigers are not going to make the playoffs. And they're not, even if they were fun to watch, they're still not going to make the playoffs. They're still going to be a failure. And that's just part of the rebuild. The Tigers are going to either stay mediocre or tank the rest of the way. Probably going to stay mediocre. Moving on.
Left sideline, free, and he answers.
The Pistons have fired general manager Jeff Bauer, which we knew would happen. It's a front office revamp. A front office revamp. Tom Gores has pointed out several times. And Jeff Bauer's firing is the last example. So, there you go. Still choices to be made in terms of the front office, the president and the general manager. They gotta hire a president first, and then a general manager second, and then a head coach third. So there you go. It's that simple. The orderly 3-step process. So, with that being said,
it's now time for the National Sports Report with Louis Tenore.
Take it away.
All right, let's start on the baseball diamond. The Yankees beat the Orioles 4-1. Gray got the win. Cashmere got the loss, and Chapman got the save. Top 9 now. Angels are blanking the Rangers 6-0 with the runners on first and second, and 1 out. Drake is pitching, and Oder is batting. We're going to the top of the 9th now. The Mariners lead the Rays 3-2. Wendell, Ramos, and Duffy are due up at the last licks. Going into the top of the 8th, the Reds lead the Padres 7-0. Hamilton, Lorenzen, and Bamhart are due up. On the 7th now, the Giants are shutting out the Phillies 4-0. There's 2 out, but there's runners on second and third. Knurles is pitching, and Hernandez is at bat. All the rest are final. As we mentioned, the Tigers over the Blue Jays 5-2. 5-2. Hardy got the win. Garcia got the loss, and Green got the save.
Tigers still have to play the Blue Jays on the road later on. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Cubs over the Mets 7-4. Rosario got the win. Sewald got the loss, and Morrow got the save, and the Mets are now below 500 for the first time this season. How do you like that? The Braves blanked the Nationals 4-0. Bolgewicz got the win, and Strasburg got the loss. White Sox over the Brewers 8-3. Levin got the win, and Anderson got the loss. Twins over the Indians 7-4. Barrows got the win. Carcino got the loss, and Rodney got the save. Astros beat the Red Sox 7-3. Little sarcasm. Cole got the win. Sale got the loss. This was a no contest right here, as the Athletics just destroyed the Royals 16-0. Oh boy. Morales got the win, and Kennedy got the loss. I'll say he got the loss, all right. 16-0. Pirates blanked the Cardinals 4-0. Talon got the win, and Michaelos got the loss. Dodgers over the Rockies 11-8. Santana got the win. Ponders got the loss, and Jansen got the save. And finally, D-backs clobbered the Fish, a.k.a. the Marlins, 9-1. Buchholz got the win. Hernandez got the loss. All right, let's check the standings. And they go like this. As we usually do, we lead off in the American League East. Just the way that this order comes up, folks. And it goes like this. The Red Sox actually do still lead the East by a half game over the Yankees. The Red Sox are 39-19, and the Yankees are 36-17. So the Red Sox, unfortunately, do still lead the Yankees. Not by much, though. The rest is a lost cause. The Rays are 28-27, 9.5 back. The Blue Jays 25-32, 13.5 back, and the Birds of Baltimore 17-40, 21.5 back.
The
So
Orioles.
now into June. I know, but more sarcasm. Right. In the Central, Indians actually look decent. They're 30-26, have a 3.5 game lead over the Tigers at 27-30. Twins 23-30 at 5.5 back. Royals 20-37, 10.5 back, and the White Sox are 17-37 at 12 back. In the West, Astros are 37-22, have a game and a half lead over the Mariners at 34-22. Angels 30-27, 6 back. Athletics 30-28, 6.5 back, and the Rangers 13 back at 24-35. Now on to the National League. Braves are now 34-23, have a game and a half lead over the Phillies at 31-23, and a game and a half over the Nationals at 32-24. The Mets are 6 back now at 27-28. They were such off to a hot start in the beginning of the year, and they have gone cold since the beginning part of the month, of last month. And the Marlins are 20-37, 14 back, a lost cause. In the Central, the Brewers are 36-22, 3-game lead over the Cubs at 31-23. Cardinals 30-25, 4.5 back. Pirates are 30-27 at 5.5 back, and 15.5 back are the Reds at 20-37. In the West, the Rockies are 30-27, have a half-game lead over the D-backs at 29-27. Dodgers are 3 back at 27-30. Giants are 3.5 back at 26-30, and the Padres 25-33 at 5.5 back. All right, so let's check the schedule for games later today, and they read this way. Leading off, our day games beginning at 2:10 with the Brewers taking on the White Sox. 2:15, the Athletics take on the Royals, also 2:15. The Pirates take on the Cardinals. 4:05, the Yankees take on the Orioles. A couple of 4:10 games here to mention, as the Blue Jays take on the Tigers, the Indians take on the Twins, the Nationals take on the Braves. 7:15, Red Sox take on the Astros, Cubs take on the Mets, the Dodgers take on the Rockies. 8:40, Reds take on the Padres. At 9:07, Rangers take on the Angels. I was going to say 9:05, but it's 9:07. Late games, the Phillies take on the Giants at 10:05, and your 10:10 games, the Rays take on the Mariners, and the Marlins take on the Diamondbacks. All right. So now we'll head on to some other information here. Game 3 tomorrow in the Stanley Cup Finals between the Capitals and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Series is tied at 1, and the series now shifts to Washington for games 3 and 4. Major League Soccer was had a game tonight as the Vancouver Whitecaps beat the Colorado Rapids 2-1. There's a slew of games tomorrow, as we call it Soccer Saturday in this country. And the games go like this. 5 o'clock, the Portland Timbers will take on the LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy is one of the original teams. 7:30, Atlanta takes on Philadelphia. Also 7:30, the Columbus Crew take on Toronto. Montreal takes on Houston. New England takes on my Red Bulls, and New York FC takes on Orlando FC. At all games are at 7:30. 8 o'clock, Dallas takes on the Los Angeles Football Club. 8:30, Chicago Fire take on San Jose Earthquakes. 9:30, Salt Lake takes on Seattle. Just letting you know about that. Also, we have some WNBA action we had tonight. And there were, I believe, 3 games that were on the schedule here. And they read it like so. Mercury over the Minnesota Lynx, that was 95-85. That was the early game. There's a couple of other games there. Going into the fourth quarter now. Actually, 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The Las Vegas Aces against the Washington Mystics, and the Aces lead 77-69. Las Vegas Aces. I get it. Oh, dear. And the Sun, that's in Connecticut, over the Chicago Sky, big time, 110-72. Or as I like to say, no contest. All right, so we'll check. I believe there is a game on the schedule tomorrow. I think only 1 game. No, 2 games. All right. The New York Liberty take on the Indiana Fever at 7, and the Seattle Storm takes on the Dallas Wings at 8. And yes, those are their actual names. Okay, on to the news items of the day. Johnny Manziel made his preseason debut for the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the Canadian Football League. This is a preseason game, by the way. He completed 9 of 11 passes for 80 yards on 5 offensive possessions. But the Tiger Cats were unable to score any points on his possessions. Hamilton lost to Toronto 36-18. This was Manziel's first pro game since he last played for the Cleveland Browns back in 2015. The regular season starts in July in the CFL. All right, moving down the line here. All right. Cavaliers center Tristan Thompson was fined $25,000 for failing to leave the court in a timely fashion after shoveling the ball into the face of Draymond Green in last night's game 1 of the NBA Finals. It was originally called a flagrant 2 foul, but was downgraded to a flagrant 1 foul after review from the league office. So it does not look like he is going to be suspended for game 2, which is Sunday night. I got away with it. More bad news for Dodgers fans as ace pitcher Clayton Kershaw goes back on the DL list, this time with a back injury. The Dodgers made the announcement yesterday, just 1 day after coming off the disabled list with bicep injuries. He left the game against the Phillies after only 62 pitches. When it rains, it pours, folks. Wow, I mean, you come off one injury and you're on another now. All right, Warriors, Cleveland Cavaliers forward Kevin Love is not going to be suspended for entering onto the court during the scuffle that broke out in the closing seconds of regulation in Game 1, according to ESPN. Yahoo Sports first reported that Love would not be suspended. At the time of this article, there was no word on Tristan Thompson, who would have faced a suspension after shoving Green in the face, but that has now been taken care of. He just was fined $25,000. So he's going to play. Encouraging news for Clippers fans. Forward Patrick Beverley is cleared to take part in basketball activities 3 months after right knee surgery. Beverly had season-ending surgery back on November 22nd and was expected to need a full recovery of 9 months before getting cleared Thursday to play. Beverly has been in rehab in Houston and in LA, along with working with the Los Angeles Clippers. So that's encouraging signs for him. And here's the interesting story of the day, probably. Former Atlanta Braves pitcher John Smoltz qualifies for the Senior Open as he emerged from a 3-man playoff to take the final spot on Thursday. The event will happen from June 28th to July 1st in Colorado Springs, Colorado. You have a guy at World Series ring, he thinks he can do anything. Now he's going to try his hand at golf. And for the record, he's 51 and he's on the senior tour. I think you have to be, 50 to qualify. All right. So the NCAA basketball season is several months away. The ACC has announced some key matchups in the 2018-19 season between the Big Ten ACC Challenge matchups. For instance, there'll be a rematch between North Carolina and Michigan. Indiana will face Duke. Your Michigan State Spartans will take on Louisville. And for the first time, there'll be 3 new matchups that will take place, as it'll be Syracuse versus Ohio State, Minnesota versus Boston College, and Pittsburgh will face Iowa. That's new this season in that conference. I always like to plan ahead. Now, we know the old joke saying that I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out, but that also applies to the NBA. This is, of course, in the result of Tristan Thompson with Draymond Green last on Thursday night. Lev, who was not in the game, was to be suspended for 1 game for stepping out of the court while the altercation was going on. The Warriors were up by 8 with 5 seconds left, but the clock showed only 2.5 seconds remaining. Warriors guard Sean Livingston pulled a mid-range jumper, and Thompson contested the shot still. Like I said, however, he had also flung his elbow and made contact on the side of Livingston's chest. Official Tony Brothers called a flagrant 2 foul, and that was cause for automatic injection. Now that's been changed to 1. That's right. Here was the setup of what happened on how it went to overtime. J.R. Smith thought the Cavaliers were taking a timeout in the closing seconds and said, "That's why I did not try to make a game-winning shot with the score tied, because Kevin Durant was there. I tried to give enough space to bring it out and to get a shot off. Then I looked over LeBron, and he looked like he was calling a timeout. So I stopped as time was about to expire. Bill caught the pass with a half second remaining on a last-second attempt, but would not have counted as it did not leave his hands, as it left his hands after the buzzer sounded. By rule, the ball must be out of your hands before the clock hits 0. He thought he did it, but he did not. That's the rules of the game, folks. All right, so we'll just check remaining baseball scores to see if anything has changed.
Cavaliers are a bunch of liars.
That's true. It's not called a mistake by the lake for nothing, you know. All right, this has just gone final. The Angels have shut out the Rangers 6-0. Barria got the win. Cologne got the loss. We're going into the bottom of the ninth now, as the Rays and Mariners are tied at 3. In the bottom of the ninth. Gardenia.
Yep.
Fritas and Gordon are due up. Bottom 9. The Reds look like they're on their way to a win against the Padres, 7-0. The Rangers is up pitching, and Villanueva is at bat. And at the end of 8, the Giants lead the Phillies 4-0. Henry, Bernia, and Santana are due up. All right, that concludes my notes, so I'll hand it back over to you.
All right. Yep. So again, the final score: the Tigers 5 and the Blue Jays 2. Unfortunately, the fans are still getting high on this young team. Some of their younger guys are fun to watch, but not the entire team, if you want to put it this way. That said, it's still just a rebuilding year. So, if anybody wants to expect the Tigers to make the playoffs, well, they need to just snap out of it and wake up and realize that they're not. Otherwise, they need to be institutionalized. This is another easy team that the Tigers just beat. They have to play on the road too for many more games as the season progresses on. Still got 4 more months to go. The pain is going to keep on easing, and the Tigers are bad on the road. Let me look up the Tigers' road record right now as I go to MLB.com.
And not for nothing, but June is usually the month where they start to separate from the pack.
Yeah, they're gonna play the Yankees. They're gonna play the Yankees again, and then they're going to go to Boston and play the Red Sox. Oh yeah, it's gonna come too. The Tigers 9-18 on the road, only 18-12 at home, which is decent, not great, but decent. But 9-18 is bad enough on the road to keep the Tigers from nearly making the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Tigers are going to get shelled at Fenway Park. Period. Even though some of the younger guys are going to continue to shine in their own rights. That said, that's the postgame for June 1st. I'm Taylor Phillips. Before we sign off, I want to remind everyone to share this episode and our entire podcast on social media and have their friends share that as well, because we want to tell them that the Michigan Sports Truth podcast is searching for a wider audience that is fans of our teams in the state of Michigan and that care, and fans of sports as well. So please spread the word about the Michigan Sports Truth podcast, its Facebook page, and its Twitter handle at Michigan_Truth. Also listen to us on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts via iTunes. For Louis Tenore, I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. We'll talk to you tomorrow night at about midnight or 12:30 because I'm working a double. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
So long.
The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
Mission complete.